This is the other side, and the disc looks fairly sort of cleanly white. I can't see any dragging or any sort of scoring on the disc that would cause the noise. The dust shield is in better shape on this side for some reason, and the caliper, which you can't really see if I move this around here, the caliper again was replaced not so long ago, so that's new. So once again, it's whether something has got behind the disc that is causing this squeal. I think it sounds like caliper drag. It sounds like the caliper's not releasing, but that's disappointing because, I say, the caliper was replaced, but it's possible that the caliper has failed. I won't know really till I get the disc off and have a look on the other side of the disc and sort of see if there's a pattern, if the brake pad has been possibly dragging on the disc. So that's the only thing I can do really, is to strip it all down and have a look at it, replace the disc while I'm at it. As I say, they're very cheap, so it's not really worth putting the original disc on, and this is one of those coated discs, not that you'd know it looking at it. So that's the job we're going to be doing today. Strip this down and carry on trying to find this awful bloody brake squeal. Right, got the wheel off. So first impressions, it does feel a little bit tight on the pads there. Yeah, would have liked that to have felt a little bit looser, to be honest. This feels tighter than the other side did, but like I say, the disc is nice and clean. There's no scoring, there's no bands of slight rust where possibly the caliper's dragging, but yeah, that does feel a little bit tight. So I think I just need to take the caliper off, get the disc off and check both sides, and see if I can see any signs of drag. It's quite a mystery. So at least the dust shield isn't as rusty as the other side was. But so got the disc off, and once again can't really see any indications why it would be making a noise, to be honest. Brake pads are showing a little bit of rust on the edges. Just checking the slide bolts. They seem quite loose. There's no, they're not seized in any way. Only one thing I find slightly odd, and I don't know if I'm picking at straws here, but if you look at the back of the caliper, sorry, the back of the brake pad, you can distinctly see a couple of witness marks where the piston has pushed on the bottom of the caliper as I'm holding it, but at the top, the copper grease that I put on seems to be quite intact. It's almost as if the caliper was slightly, the piston was rocking. It wasn't sort of pushing, it was maybe just slightly rocking. I don't know if I'm clutching at straws, but it does look a little bit uneven. I'd expect a pattern all the way round where the piston should have pushed that pad into the disc. It might have been slightly rocking it, I'm not sure. Right, I've been shopping and got another caliper. Again, this is a pattern part, so I'm not sure if I'm going down the right road really, buying, you know, buy cheap, buy twice and all that. And I'm not really sure. The thing is, these are about a fifth of the price of a genuine part, and I have actually had it out. I've taken out the grease, the bleed nipple, and I've just put a little bit of copper grease just on the threads to help the bleeding, and it seems okay. I can move the handbrake lever and the piston is going in and out. I did try it with the screw-in tool here, just the returns, and it didn't really seem to move. I was hoping that I was going to be able to turn it quite easy on the threads there for the caliper return. Does seem quite fixed. I'm not sure about that, whether that's supposed to be how it is. I didn't test the other one, unfortunately, but I know that the one that's working, that moves nice and free and easy. Again, it might need hydraulic pressure or something. I'm not sure that straight out of the box. But, well, you know, you can only try. So this one will be going on the car, and with the new disc, and go from there. If this one fails, if the same thing happens, then I am going to be forced to splash out probably on a genuine part, but I'm going to try and avoid that. It's a 12-year-old car. I don't really want to be spending big bucks on it. But it's very easy to replace, just 2 bolts and the handbrake cable, and then just got to bleed it, of course. So that's what's going to be going on the car. Got the new one on. I've got to bleed it yet, build up the disc. Amazingly, I saw a video on YouTube where a guy was showing you how to change a caliper, and he didn't pressure bleed the brakes afterwards. He just let the fluid drip out and seemed to think that it would gravity bleed. And that's just not the case. If you change anything like a caliper, you seriously do have to bleed the brakes by pumping the pedal, or better if you've got a pressure system like I've got. But yeah, they won't bleed themselves. I did find that quite amazing that the guy actually did a tutorial. This is why I don't do tutorials. This is not a tutorial, this is just me mucking about with my car on Fred 2. I don't do tutorials for working on cars. But anyway, got to build up now, put the disc back on, bleed the brake, and going to paint this red to match the other side, and then see how it goes. And hopefully that might be the end of the brake squeal. If not, I'm a little bit confused. I'll be a bit perplexed now with a Sealy pressurised brake bleed assist. So just crack open the bleed nipple there and just let all of the air out. I think all the air's out actually. I just like to leave it a little bit longer just to make sure. The brake fluid was changed about 3 months ago, so it doesn't need to be changed. But yeah, I think that's pretty much just got all the air out. So yeah, I can crack that back out closed. There we go, we've painted the caliper. So it's red, matches the other side. I've got to wait for the paint to dry to put the decal on, but I can do that through the wheel. It still seems a little tight, I've got to be honest. But I won't be able to tell really till we get the wheel on. It's turning, but I suppose it's got a bed in again. So yeah, well, time's going to tell. Won't be till I drive it backwards and forwards to work. It's either going to be squealing, or it's not. If it's squealing, I'm running out of ideas. But I'll come back with an update. So a little brief update to the video. We have driven this just on a small test drive, and I'm pleased to say that at the moment we do have no brake squeal, but I haven't done it on my usual route to work, and there's certain sections like round a roundabout that it normally does squeal. So that'll be the last test. I'll just have to put the camera back in the car and then we'll drive this to work, and then we'll know for certain. But at the moment it's looking pretty good, so fingers crossed. I've got it, but this will be the test coming up here, and yeah, really annoying going round a roundabout. So I'll be able to get round with that stupid squeal up to it now. So this is it, here we go. I'm going to shut up for a second, which is a rarity on my videos. Got it, I've sussed it. I'm going to take that as a win. Definitely take that as a win. There you go. So it was that caliper. It was a new caliper, and obviously just, I don't know, maybe it wasn't manufactured properly. Cheap parts, unfortunately. Yeah, I do know about that. But I'm taking that as a win. We have lost the brake squeal finally after weeks, if not months, of endurance. So that's it. I'd like to say, as always, thank you very much for watching this. I don't get a lot of views on Fred in the Shed too, so everyone I appreciate. If you enjoyed the video, again, give it a thumbs up. I do like to see the thumbs up, and leave a comment. I do read every comment on Fred too. It's always good.
really nice to read your comments. I get nicer comments, I think, on thread 2 than thread 1. So I really do enjoy these videos. So as always, for God's sake, stay safe, stay indoors. This coronavirus is not getting any better anytime soon. It's a real worry, so please stay safe. And thanks for watching. I can't get my thumb in the back window, but you know it's there. And cheers, stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next one. See you later.